So again, welcome to everyone today. And we just wanted to go through some of the resources that are available to all of you, to students and graduates at Ivy Tech, and then also connect it to how that can be used for your future career and job success. Now, you know, because we're part of Ivy Tech, we think that the college is wonderful because of all the great resources that are available. And one of the reasons for this presentation was to chat a little bit about those resources that you have available to you, again, as students, as graduates. So you'll be able to use this assessment information and also the research and exploration resources for that career path. We know that some of our students, you're currently working in your career job, and that's fantastic. You may want to take some of this assessment information when you are looking for promotions or advancement. We know that some of our students, you're also looking to join the military or to transfer after you finish your degree with us. And we also know that some of you are here, you may have had another career previously, or you're starting on that career path, so you'll be looking for a career-related job after you finish with us. So again, having some type of assessment is so valuable. And what I'll say at this point is, when it comes to you, when it comes to knowing you, you know yourself the best. You lived with yourself since you were born. So you're the expert in you. But like an X-ray, sometimes we need to look inside ourselves and we need some type of assessment or resource that will give us that inside look. So in some ways, the assessments, it's like an X-ray of your work personality. And as we've been chatting about, Ivy Tech has access to two resources in particular. We're going to be talking about Ivy Career Strong and also Clifton Strengths, which is more of a personality assessment. And then there's also Career One Stop, which is also a really great assessment, and that's available for anyone. But in particular, Ivy Career Strong and being able to access Clifton Strengths, we've made available for Ivy Tech students and graduates. Any questions so far about that information? What I like to do at this point, I do want to showcase some of these assessments that are available to all of you. And feel free, as I'm chatting today, to log into your My Ivy account, because you will also be able to access some of these from there. But before we do that, I really love to play a video that we have access to. Let me just bring that over to here. It is Knowing Your Strengths. So it talks a little bit more about why it's so valuable knowing your strengths, being able to take those assessments as part of the career planning and job search process. And when we're done playing the video, I'll show you where we have those. They are available from the Ivy Tech Career Coaching and Employer Connections website. But let me open up that particular one. This video, it's underneath the internship part, but it has great advice that can be applied to any type of career or job search. So I will get that played. And I do need to switch between my audio sources. So I'm going to go mute for a little bit while this is playing. Thanks.
Knowing your strengths is critical. Also, knowing the things that you're good at, the things that you enjoy, also help you understand the things that are challenges for you.
Really explore what's important to you. What are your interests? What skills do you have? Do you want to further develop? What are your values? How does that relate to certain areas?
Use your Career Services Center. They have assessment tools. It allows you to put in information, answer questions, and get a constructive result at the end that allows you to say, okay, this is where I'm strong, this is where I'm weak.
If you're the person who likes to seek out challenges, that's great. You can then focus that direction. If that isn't your forte and the environment you're in is very challenging for you, you've now learned another great lesson. It's not a fed.
And when you have that insight, it helps you understand a little bit about yourself and then what type of internships you should be going after.
And like we were saying, even though that was for internships, that's great advice for any type of career or job that you're going to be looking for. And I apologize, that one video always needs a little bit of buffering, so that's why it paused for a little bit in there. And I also brought up another screen, which, hold on to that thought, I'll talk more about that toward the end of the presentation today. So speaking of the assessments, let's focus on Ivy Career Strong first. This is a new assessment that the college launched last summer. Some of you, if you were with us a few years ago, I know some of our alumni are with us, so it's great to see you here. Some of you may have known that we had been using another assessment, but last summer we switched over to Ivy Career Strong. And what we'll do is, as I said, feel free to follow my test example here, or you can log into your My Ivy account. But we can go ahead and open Ivy Career Strong from there, from your Ivy Tech account, your My Ivy account. So I'm going to log into mine here. And they've put the application, the app, into your My Ivy. It's going to want me to sign in again. But you can also access it. I'll put the link in here as well from another website also. And it may ask for an access code, so I'll put that into the chat box as well, just in case for that information. And once you're in your My Ivy account, if you go to, if you want to open up all of the quick links, if you click on See All, it should be in alphabetical order. So you can click on Ivy Career Strong. It should be there. We scroll down a little bit. And for most students, it should be that single sign-on. So it should automatically go to your account. The first time, if it's the first time that you're logging in, a splash box may come up and it might ask for your permission to share the information. And what it's doing is when you complete the assessment, I'm also putting the other link into there as well. What's happening is it's going to share the assessment with your career coach at your campus. So we have, again, we're biased, but we have wonderful career coaches at all of the campuses. So what you can do is you can connect with your career coach and they can review the results of the Ivy Career Strong assessment with you. So that's why it's asking for that information. If for some reason it goes straight to the dashboard or it bypasses that piece and it's asking for the access code, the access code for this is Ivy Tech and then the name of your campus. So I'm also putting that into the chat box. So it'd be Ivy Tech. For example, I'm at the Lafayette campus. So it'd be Ivy Tech Lafayette. It would be the IT and the first letter of your campus would be capitalized. So once you've had a chance to go in, you can complete the Super Strong, Ivy Career Strong. And then when you click on View Results, it comes up with this really helpful report. You can print it off. You can save it as Adobe, as PDF. And again, your career coach will be able to view it also. But what it does is it will connect to your personality. So they use these codes. There's 6 of them: realistic, investigative, artistic, social, enterprising, and conventional. but it lists the top 3 for your personality. And then it connects them to work-related areas like occupational themes. I'm just going to scroll through these a little bit. It also connects to your personal styles. Again, speaking of careers, it talks about work style, talks about learning environment. But if you keep scrolling, it will also highlight 6 career interests. So for students and graduates who are still kind of doing some exploration of what career path they would like to pursue, the 6 or the top 6 career interests here can be very valuable. And then what you can do is with each of those 6 interests, you can rate them, like them, dislike, unsure. And I'll just speak to this one here that came up in my profile and my assessment, taxes and accounting. It's a great field, in demand, will always be in demand. I mean, we'll always need taxes and accounting, but you do need to put a rating next to it, because then at the bottom, when you click on save ratings, this is the real valuable part too. Now you can do some more exploration into career paths related to those interests. And if you're also looking at deciding, if you're still deciding upon some of the majors or programs here at Ivy Tech, it will help make some of those matches. So if you click on this one here, it will actually take you to those career interests and will highlight some of the Ivy Tech programs and majors that you may want to consider. And if you're in a program, in a major that's matching your future career path, again, that's wonderful. You can continue to do some more research with the career pathways. So Ivy Career Strong, again, this is one of the assessments that you can use when planning out your future career path, thinking about some of the activities that you can get involved with that are related to your future career. And you'll be able to access it through my Ivy or from the link that I put in there. Any questions, comments about this assessment?
How do you get to it again?
Sure. So let me put the link into the chat box. I'll have that in there. This is the link here. I just dropped it into the chat box. Or you can also get to it from my Ivy account. It's under mine looks a little bit different because I have both the student and the staff access in there. So you can get to it under tools and it'll be in alphabetical order. Or some students have told us they've just found it by typing in Ivy Career Strong into the search box also. Which didn't come up on mine, but a few students, it's just taking a little while there.
Okay, I found it.
It's the afternoon. That's great, thank you.
Okay.
So we really like it as career coaches. It's been so helpful for us when working with our students and alumni. So this is definitely a great resource to add. I also want to showcase, I have it here in the presentation, Career One Stop. So it is available to anyone. It's not necessarily a resource that's Ivy Tech specific. So let me go back to my browser here. We'll just type in Career One Stop. And what many of us like about it, if I can, speak for all of the career coaches on the Zoom video here, but what we really like about it is it provides resources for just about every type of job seeker, people planning out their career path. They also have more assessments if anyone wants to take another assessment in addition to Ivy Career Strong. There's job search information. And personally, I like it too because of the layout. So all of the information can be found pretty easily on here. But speaking of careers, and we'll talk more about this toward the end of the presentation, they also have some of the salary information on here, which is so valuable because we all have bills that need to get paid. We all need jobs. We need to know what our salary will be when we're choosing that career path. So this is a great website for that too. But what we've also found here at Ivy Tech when it comes to the assessment process, again, with the career planning and management process, the career assessments like Ivy Career Strong, Career One Stop, so valuable. But another important piece of that X-ray into our work personality is knowing our strengths, like we heard about in the earlier video. So this past year, Ivy Tech has invested in additional training for the career coaches, for your career coach, and we're now certified for the Clifton Strengths Assessment. And some of you may have had the chance to take this already through, if you've taken the IVYT 111 Student Success class. But if you haven't, please connect with your career coach and they will be able to get you access to this assessment to Clifton Strengths. Why don't I jump back to the browser here because I have some of that information open. So this is Clifton Strengths here. We use Clifton Strengths for students, so it's specifically geared for all of you as students and graduates of Ivy Tech. And when you connect with your career coach, we can get you, there's an access code too that you will need to complete this. So you'll set up your account with Clifton Strengths. You'll use the access code. You'll go through the assessment. It can take anywhere from 20 minutes to 45. It depends when you're going through. They're not even really questions, they're more preferences. So you're choosing between two options, what your preference is when it comes to strengths. And then what it will do is, once you're finished answering those questions or filling out that assessment, it will then highlight your top 5 strengths. There's a total of 34, but for students, it highlights the top 5. I'm going to go ahead and put my top 5 into the chat box, but this is my student test account, so I have a different set of strengths, but this is my student test account. But I wanted to showcase it because, again, it'll show your top 5 strengths. As I said, I put my actual top 5 strengths in the chat box. But what I want to chat about here is many employers are using Clifton Strengths themselves. They're having their employees, their associates complete Clifton Strengths because they're finding that when their employees better know their strengths, it will help with teamwork. So people can be more productive in their teams, and really every workplace today is team-based. People can be more productive in their teams when they know their strengths, and then they can compare those with their coworkers and see what's the best way to work with each other. So that's why many employers are starting to use it. So as a student or as a graduate, if you can include some of that information in a cover letter, when you're applying for a job, I can't give a 100% guarantee, but that might help increase your chances of getting an interview with that employer. And when you're in an interview, you can also talk about your strengths as well. So they would love to know that you've had the opportunity to take Clifton Strengths here. And then also just to point out, when you've taken the Clifton Strengths assessment, you'll have access to this dashboard. And this is a great guide here. It talks about how students can use their Clifton Strengths to succeed. So it's very valuable. So again, I'll do that one last plug. Connect with your career coach and they can have you take the Clifton Strengths assessment. If you've already taken it, that's wonderful. We would still love it as career coaches if you can make an appointment with us, because we would love to go over those results with you and chat more about how you can use that information in the career management and career planning process. Any questions about that information, about anything we've talked about so far? Questions or comments? If anything comes up, please put it into the chat box, unmute, raise your hand. But speaking of the career management process, there's one video that I also like to show in this presentation. It's a little bit longer than the earlier one, but again, really great advice about that career planning process and also about the role of assessments. So I will go ahead and get that started. As I said, I will need to mute myself so that we can hear the sound on there. So I'll get that going. Oh, one thing too, before I play this. So as you can see, this is branded with Ivy Tech information, but these are our Career Spots videos. What I really love about these is they have advice for everything. So you know that you have a great resource in your career coaches at Ivy Tech. And also with our talent connection managers. I'll just quickly say this, our talent connection managers in the Career Coaching Employer Connections office, their role is just that. It's to connect our Ivy Tech talent, our students and alumni, with employers. So they are so valuable. Our career coaches are a great resource for all of you. So when you're going through the career assessment process, career planning, when you're looking for jobs, any type of job opportunity, certainly connect with us. But we understand, let's say, for example, it's 11:30 at night and you're applying for a job and the deadline is coming up and you want to get that application in and you have this burning question about a cover letter or interviewing or anything else. These are really great videos to watch. I would say there's an advice video for just about every question. So I'm going to go ahead and put the link. I'm so sorry, it's a long link, but I'm going to go ahead and put that into the chat box. And once we're done watching the video, I'll also show you where we have that, where we have the link on our CCEC website. So let me get this one started here.
It's important because one needs to understand who one is so that you can actually connect with a career. Doing a career which is fulfilling, which really speaks to who you are as a person.
Thinking about where am I now? What skills do I have? Where do I want to go? What skills do I need to go there? And talking to people to figure it out.
It's a combination of having a purpose, doing something that we are interested in and that we are engaged in.
What do you see yourself doing? What do you think you might want to do? Do you like working with people?
And although that should start in college with you, it never ends throughout your entire career.
There are a number of tools that are sort of tried and true, surveys and inventories that will really help identify some potential areas of interest. You want to make sure that you are connecting with your professors and also with the Career Development Center and professionals who are in your chosen field to do internships, co-ops.
Finding mentors, finding people in the fields you might be interested in, and kind of picking their brains and understanding what they bring to it, what they understand, their perspective is really important.
The best way to start with that is with your alumni network. Everybody loves to help someone from their alma mater. So you call them up and you say, I'm a student, I'm doing this, and I want to explore this. Can I come for 20 minutes and sit down with you and talk with you?
You've had those discussions, you've placed yourself in a situation or you've made those relationships that when an opportunity does become available, your interests, your desires, your contributions are well known.
So when you're thinking about continuous career development, there are opportunities everywhere to do almost anything you would really want if you want to go after it. So it's about realizing those opportunities and then seizing them.
No matter where you are in life, it's about where am I now? Where do I want to be next? And even thinking ahead, maybe next and next and next, right? Thinking a couple of steps ahead and figuring out what's my skill set now and what do I need to get there.
And we have a lot of these resources, again, on our statewide career coaching and employer connections website. And I also like to, I'm going to bring that up. And while I'm bringing up that website, I'm going to chat a little bit more. So this is the website here. I'll put that into the chat box as well. And I like to play that video too in these presentations when we're talking about career assessment, because it's a nice bridge between the career assessment process and, as we were hearing in the video, some of those next steps. So connecting with alumni, connecting with employers, because again, that's all part of the career exploration process, the career assessment process. Those assessments we just talked about, Ivy Career Strong, Career One Stop, Clifton Strengths, they are so valuable, again, in helping us learn more about ourselves and how that connects with our career path, either our current career path or our future career path. But it's also so valuable getting information from people who are already working in that field, from those experienced individuals. And that's why, again, as we were saying earlier, we have also our talent connection managers in the career coaching and employer connections offices who are there to help make those connections between all of you, Ivy Tech talent and employers. I'll make a long story short, but we also have additional staff in our offices who work more closely with the employers and organizations who are looking to hire our students, and also to help provide services to those employers, because if they can get high quality services from Ivy Tech, they're more likely to hire our students and alumni. So you literally have a full service office now, the CCEC office, to help you as an Ivy Tech student and graduate with the career planning and management process. And for those of you who are currently working, or the career that you're working in the future, you can always circle back with us as an employer representative, and we can provide assistance for that also. But again, I've just put in the link to our statewide CCEC website. If you scroll down a little bit, that's where we have a link specifically for students and alumni, and it will bring up this page here. And this is also where we have a lot of those resources that we were discussing. You can look for your career coach by your campus. So Hire Ivy is one of those resources. They're going to be talking a little bit more about that in some of the presentations tomorrow, which is the career preparation and then the career experiences on Friday. Here's the link to Ivy Career Strong again. It's in a few places, the career assessment. Interview stream, they're also going to be talking a little bit more either in the presentation tomorrow or on Friday. But I want to highlight this here. Oh, and this is the link again for the career advice videos, the career spots. What can I do with the major? With this major is another great source that you can use when you're trying to do a little more research into potential programs or majors. Let's say that you've gone through the assessment process, a student has gone through the assessment process, and they're thinking about 2, maybe 3 different career paths. Well, you can go to what can I do with this major and get even more information about that. I'm going to click on the accounting one since it's at the beginning here. It does take a little while to load just because of all the information. But you can see with accounting here, it gives you information about the different areas that you can work in, or fields, industries you can work in with that degree, the employers that would hire individuals with an accounting background, and the strategies as well. And that's a common question that we get from students. What can I do to increase my chances once I have my education of getting into this field? So that's very valuable. And my apologies, I'm going to scroll real quickly down to the bottom here and also highlight that we have other links too. When they were mentioning joining some of those professional associations, they have links to those on here. They talk more about what it's going to look like working in that field, other resources, and then links to nationwide job postings. So it's one of those resources. I probably should have said this at the beginning of the presentation, but I'm pretty blunt, so I won't beat around the bush. It's one of those resources that students have said to us, wow, I really wished I had known about that earlier. So all the career coaches were trying to get the word out about this great resource. So we'll be chatting about it. Our statewide central office, systems office staff like Jessica Jagger will be sending out emails about it. So keep an eye out for some of that information also. But again, before I land on this slide here, other questions, comments?
Jess, can you speak to our services and how they are available to our students?
Sure.
No matter what?
Yes. Yeah, thank you. So let me toggle back to this one here. This is our student page. And let me put that into the chat box as well. There we go. So there's that information. Let's see. We'll scroll down here. These are all the services that we have here. Career coaching. We can also help with the internships or work and learn experiences. Our talent connection managers are great resources for that. Employability skills. I had also put into the chat box a copy of the career development portfolio. So I'm going to go ahead and open up that too, or the CDP. And the CDP, it's a lot like your academic completion plan, your ACP that you have with your academic advisor. But instead of having classes listed in there, like you do with your academic completion plan, your career development portfolio has career milestones in there. And these are based on what employers have shared with the college, what they would love to see students complete as part of those milestones. So I put a copy of that in there also. And this is some of the milestones that are on there. You can also get to them from your Higher Ivy account, but we would really love it if you could connect with your career coach at least once a semester, so that way you can see the progress being made on your CDP on the career for the career milestones for that. And I'm just checking some of the questions and comments in here. When it comes to meeting with your career coach, as Jessica Jagger was saying, yes, feel free to reach out to us at any time, at any point. Like we said, we know everyone has very busy schedules also, but we're always happy to meet again with students. Ideally, once a semester would be great for that. And I also see that Jessica Jagger put in the links to the videos also, so that's another great resource as well. But yeah, definitely feel free to connect with your career coach. In terms of finding out who your career coach is, let me go back to this website here. This is our statewide career coach, and Jessica Jagger also put that in there about the drop-down menu. So on that website, I just put into the drop box, there's a drop-down menu for career coaches by campus. Yes. So one other thing also, I'm so happy everyone was able to join us today. But before we wrap up, and we'll still take time if you have any additional questions, we just want to mention again, sound like a broken record, meet with your career coach. We can help with that career management, career planning process. And then we can also talk a little bit more about career conversations and informational interviews that you can have with employers. And I'm going to go back to this slide here too, because when it comes to choosing a career path, as we were saying, we do want to have one that matches well with who we are, with our personality. But at the same time, we still need to know, what I was saying earlier, we all have bills that need to get paid. So we still need to know what that salary is going to be, but what are some of the other benefits for being in that career? So it really is a well-rounded, holistic approach. You want to take all of these into account with that career planning process. Because if we can take a look at our physical and mental health, liking what we do, the job itself, the salary, the other benefits, the work-life balance, we'll be more successful in our future careers. And then that, of course, in some ways will also help with the pay that's associated with that. So it really is a holistic approach with that you'll be working with your career coach on that. And again, we wanted to thank everyone for joining us. I'm Jessica Farrell from the Lafayette Career Coaching and Employer Connections Office. Mark Woodcock also joined me. We have several of the other career coaches and talent connection managers on there. So I just wanted to say thank you to everyone for joining us. And thank you once more to all of our students and alumni who were with us today.